Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Could running marathons or your chronic cardio actually be backfiring? Welcome to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta, where I cut through the noise and fast track your journey to better health. I'm your host, Sara Banta, and CEO and founder of Accelerated Health Products, certified by the National Association of Nutritional Professionals. I am here to share the latest on supplements, wellness hacks, and natural solutions that actually work, from boosting energy to detoxing to balancing hormones. Yes, those things that are causing everything to go out of whack, and everything in between. I will help you reach your optimal health. So let's dive in. You're a marathon runner. You're an ultra athlete. You're doing that chronic cardio. You're going from the strength yoga to the Orange Theory. Whatever it is, it might be accelerating your aging and doing even more damage to your GI tract. But I know those marathon runners. I've got friends. I've got the Ironman family members, and they've talked about these symptoms that we're going to be talking about. Well, I also understand the drive to do it. I love being an athlete. I was a rower in high school and college, and I did continue with my athletics. And I thought I was always going to be an athlete. Now, thank God, I have learned that strength training is a little healthier than the chronic cardio. But what no one's talking about is the GI distress, the rectal bleeding, or unexplained fatigue. Most runners, and even many doctors, dismiss these symptoms as runner's colitis. And I've heard the conversations, like I said, from my friends and family members saying, oh yeah, I was bleeding. I had to stop off at the side of the road. I had diarrhea. Well, they're calling this benign, a benign side effect of long runs, but new research is shedding light on the fact that these signals might be far more serious than we've assumed. Dr. Cannon, a gastrointestinal expert, has sounded the alarm. If you're experiencing rectal bleeding, regardless of your age, ask for a colonoscopy. He says, I think bleeding from the rectum in runners is dismissed because it's a known entity. It's something that's common. But common doesn't mean that it's good, right? And people are not getting screened. So a recent study showed that many individuals with advanced adenomas or precancerous lesions also had a history of rectal bleeding. This changes the narrative. What was previously brushed off as just a quirk of endurance training may in some cases be a red flag for early colon pathology. And what's so scary is it's not just amongst these chronic cardio people. According to the American Cancer Society, over 154,000 Americans will be diagnosed with colorectal cancer this year. And what's even more disturbing, a sharp rise among young adults. So people ages 20 to 34. These are babies, are expected to climb 90% between 2010 and 2030. In teens, the increase is almost an astronomical 500% increase since the early 2000s. And I'm hearing it amongst my friends. Did you get your colonoscopy yet? Did you? And we are thought we don't have to get it until we're 45, but now they're talking about it for younger people. So why are runners in particular more vulnerable? Well, that chronic cardio. So running, biking, the hiking for hours and hours. Well, chronic cardio is a hidden stressor. Okay. So especially if you are not recovering and have the right nutrition, which I think is a huge part of all of this, because if you look at the timeline of 2010 to 2030, we're in the world of ultra processed foods, and people have been running marathons for a long time. So why now are we seeing this rise? But we're getting this flood of stress hormones in the body when you're running so hard, like cortisol. It steals the blood flow from the gut and sends it to the legs, depletes your minerals needed for all cells in the body, including your GI tract, at an accelerated rate through sweat. I've talked about the fact that my son, at the age of 15, working out like an Olympic athlete for rowing. He was doing, his workouts were 3 hours long, and his heart was stopping, literally stopping. I woke up at 2 a.m. to him pounding on the wall and then pounding on his chest because his heart had stopped. 15 years old. Why? He was low in electrolytes. He took electrolytes, but he was training like an Olympic athlete and not supplementing like an Olympic athlete. If you're working out, if you're in sauna, if you're in the heat of summer, if you're stressed out, your body needs more minerals. Your body uses more minerals, more salt, more iodine when it's stressed. When those cortisol, epinephrine, other stress hormones are being depleted, your body needs all of these minerals to replace them, right? So running for 26 miles or doing chronic cardio for 2 to 4 or 5 hours, your body is just drained of these minerals, and they're stealing them from your bones. So you're going to have risk for bone issues as well. And you need those minerals for good gut. So those minerals are alkaline. Without them, your body's going to become more acidic. What does acidity do? It accelerates aging, oxidative stress, inflammation, mitochondrial stress. And over time, this is going to lead to systemic inflammation and weaken the body's defenses, including the gut. You need salt and minerals to digest your food. So that's another issue. You need salt for healthy bowel movements. Have you ever heard of a salt flush? Well, that means that you're overdosing or taking high doses of high quality salt, and it will induce healthy bowel movements. So a lot of people do that if they have constipation issues, which just shows you the importance of minerals for your GI tract. Amongst everything else, your brain, your hair, your energy, your cellular structure, you need that sodium and potassium for that sodium-potassium pump, right? And many runners also suffer from the gut dysbiosis, frequent bloating, cramps, bleeding, but they excuse it as normal. The repeated mechanical jostling of the GI tract up and down, paired with compromised blood flow during the long runs, irritate the gut lining. And that's before we even talk about what they're putting into their mouths. So what do you eat when you're on a run for 4 hours? You're not going to stop for a healthy meal of wild animal protein and organic vegetables. You're going to take that goo gel or the protein bars or the Gatorade. All of that is full of microplastics, processed foods, sugar, inflammatory seed oils, artificial sweeteners, gums, emulsifiers, synthetic vitamins. Just one of those ingredients is going to rip your gut apart. But your body is looking for that immediate dose of glucose to get through that 4-5 hours of workout, because you only have a certain amount of storage for glucose in the body, about 2,000 calories. So if you burn through that, that's when you hit that wall. That's what people talk about when they say, I've hit the wall at mile 22. Well, it's because either you're out of electrolytes and your salt, or you're out of your glucose, and your body doesn't know how to tap into that fat storage. This is also why a lot of people in the endurance world said, oh, well, keto is the right way to go because you don't need to fuel up. You just need the electrolytes and your body will start burning its own fat for fuels. Now, there is a point to that. You want to be metabolically flexible. You want to be able to go into keto and out of keto and use carbs and sugar, but carbs and fat. But the point is, these are processed foods. These ingredients irritate the gut lining, cause leaky gut, destroy the microbiome, spike the blood sugar, and they don't provide the nutrients needed for recovery, which will then, of course, contribute to chronic inflammation. So what happens when your body, away from the gut, what happens to your body when you run out of the glucose and it's not tapping into the fat storage? It's eating away at your muscles. So then you're going to lose your muscle mass, which is only going to accelerate aging, right? So that's just a side point. But even these healthy protein bars often contain the processed soy, dairy derivatives, sugar, alcohols that are harsh on digestion. And when people use these without the whole food nutrition, these processed foods can exacerbate the very problem runners are trying to ignore. Now, I'm not a bar person. I have stuck to whole food for a lot of years. I used to love those Quest bars. I was addicted to them. They tasted so good. And then I realized what was in them. And so just recently, there was this bar that's in the news that is supposed to be super healthy and clean and great macros, right? 150 calories, 30 grams of protein. That's huge. And they taste good. So then I started eating them. And I thought, gosh, I'm bloated. Could that one little bar be causing it? And I'm not even running marathons. And then my bowel movements were different and it just got worse and worse. I cut them out and all the symptoms went away. Come to find out that this bar has a certain fat that is not digested by the body. It's like literally genetically modified so that it just goes through you and causing my issues. And then I just am back to whole foods. Sorry, guys. I wish I could tell you there's a bar out there that I love. But anything coming in a package is processed. And, maybe it's organic and it's whole food, but is it in aluminum or what's the wrapper? Or is there microplastics that it's exposed to? So there's a whole bunch of things that you got to think about. So let's take a step back. Am I telling you not to run marathons? Now, if you're running marathons for your health, no, don't run marathons. They're not good for your health. They can stop your menstrual cycle. They're breaking down your muscles. They're accelerating aging. They're disrupting your gut. And they're putting a lot of stress on your body. Whether you're stressed from financial reasons or a marathon, your body's going to up its reverse T3, its survival mode hormone that's going to shut down metabolism and put on that belly fat. That's why you'll see a lot of marathon runners that don't look like runners at all. They've got belly fat around them. They're packing on the pounds. They might have strong looking legs, but it's not going in the right direction. If you're running marathons because of that competitive nature and you're an athlete in high school and you just want to do something fun, go for it. But you've got to balance it out. You've got to give your body enough rest. You've got to give your body whole food. You've got to listen to your symptoms like what we're talking about, and you've got to supplement. And number one, and this is where the accelerated aminos comes in, which is amazing for women like me and you who are in their perimenopause, menopausal years that are not eating enough protein, or maybe you're fasting and you can't get that amount of protein in the small eating window you're doing, or you're trying to build muscle during those later years when your body just wants to eat away at it because of the hormonal decline. All these things are working against us in our muscle tone and our hair and our nails and our skin. I made the accelerated aminos for us in mind, but it is amazing for my 18-year-old daughter's rowing team. It's amazing for you, marathon runners. It's amazing for you, people who like to do 2 to 3 workouts a day. Now, why? It is because this endurance training breaks down muscle, strains the connective tissue, increases inflammation, and then, of course, taxes the gut. All 9 essential amino acids are required to rebuild it, right? Protein powders, protein bars, they have the 9 amino acids, but guess what? They've got other ingredients that can actually make you pack on fat and muscle at the same time, and only about 18% of the protein is absorbed. It's not about what you're consuming, it's about what your body is assimilating. You, of course, got to make sure you've got a healthy liver to be able to process the proteins you're eating, or the protein powders, or even the protein bars. But most people don't have healthy livers right now because of the microplastics, endocrine disruptors, all the toxins in our world. You gotta pay attention to your liver. And I talk a lot about that. That's where the accelerated liver care comes in. But the accelerated aminos is the 9 essential amino acids in the exact right ratio So it assimilates in your body. Your liver can deal with it regardless of the health of your liver. And it goes and is assimilated within 15 minutes, faster than any other amino acid supplement. But that is not the magic of the accelerated aminos. The magic is the cofactor ingredients we put in there. So we need to regenerate muscle, repair tissues, rebuild the gut lining, right? So the cofactor ingredients like OKG, have you heard of it? HMB. HMB is what leucine needs to convert into to build muscle. Everyone talks about leucine, but it's actually the HMB that it turns into that we need. And then the orotic acid, all three prevent muscle loss in the first place. So then you're building on the muscle you already have. Then the estrogen in it is included to heal leaky gut. And not only that, but increase the absorption of not just the amino acids by 41%. So you're getting more bang for your buck with the amino acids, but it helps the absorption of all the nutrition that your body consumes from the foods you're eating, from what you're drinking. And why is that important? Like I just said, it's not about what you're consuming. It's about what your body is assimilating. We need these nutrients to get into our cells to increase that ATP, that cellular energy for the mitochondria. We are only as healthy as our cells. We are only as healthy as our mitochondria. You're only going to have enough energy dependent on your mitochondria. So this is also the other ingredients like the synactive and the TMG are going to increase the VO2 max, the ATP production, the anti-aging aspects of what you're needing, and it will actually increase your performance. So then you have bragging rights and you beat your last marathon time or whatever sport you're in, and it gives you what you need. So you're maintaining that muscle mass, you're actually burning extra fat, it stabilizes blood sugar, helps with growth hormone and testosterone as well too. But you're also going to build lean muscle, maintain it. It's great for hair and nails. Everyone who starts it actually says, I cannot believe how fast my hair is growing all of a sudden. Most of you are not getting enough protein. You need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? And if you're an athlete, you need more. So unlike most protein powders, like I said, that are difficult to digest, and they convert into the fat and the sugars, they can cause bloat. Honestly, I'm still waiting to find a protein powder that does not cause me to be bloated. If you have one, let me know. The accelerated aminos are pre-digested for 99% absorption. So that's number one. Take it prior to your run or your activity, and then afterwards. And if you're doing 4 or 5 hours of workout, take a couple doses in the middle. Now, you need calories. These don't have calories. You definitely need calories, but you can get the calories in from your whole food, the wild animal protein I always talk about, the organic vegetables that exclude the sulfur and the oxalates and the moldy foods. And I have this all laid out in my free accelerated food guide. Make sure you check that out because you might be eating a healthy food that is causing the bloat and the GI issues, making it worse. So that is number one. Number two, accelerated ancient salt. We need to be supplementing with electrolytes. Most runners focus on hydration. They're drinking the Gatorade. They're drinking just plain water, but they forget the minerals. Did you know Gatorade and some of these sports drinks not only don't have the electrolytes in them, they actually steal them from your body. So you're worse off. So every time you sweat, you lose sodium, magnesium, potassium, trace minerals, and then you don't replace them. The accelerated ancient salt is a full spectrum mineral salt that contains over 60 natural occurring minerals, nothing stripped or bleached, no chemicals. It's also scalar charged to enhance detoxification and cellular hydration. That intracellular hydration. I love the new Body Pod. Reach out to me if you want the link and my discount to get it. It measures your body fat, your muscle, your skeletal bone, your mineral density, your intracellular and extracellular hydration. Intracellular is what's inside. That's the good hydration. Extracellular is that bloat in the water, retention. I can't pull my rings off my finger kind of hydration. So it's really great to have that scale to be able to measure all of these things. So why does this matter? Your mitochondria, the energy centers of your cells, rely on minerals to produce ATP. Without them, the energy crashes, recovery slows, and inflammation rises. It helps with hydration, boosting cellular voltage, and supports your proper nerve and muscle function. You're not going to cramp up. How many times have you been on a long run and you're getting quad cramps or calf cramps, or you're sleeping and you have cramps in your legs? That's from a lack of electrolytes. So where do we go from here? Running is not inherently bad. In fact, it can be a form of therapy. I love my morning runs with my dogs. I keep it to 20 minutes though, because I'm in the sun, I'm in nature, I'm moving forward. Any exercise where you're actually factually moving forward, like walking or running or biking, it's almost like a dopamine hit because you're feeling that forward movement. So I'm a fan, but in the right doses, and especially if you are doing it for the right reasons, with proper rest and proper supplementation. So stay away from the ultra processed nutrition, turn to the healthy foods, and you can supplement with the accelerated aminos, accelerated ancient salt, and you'll feel a lot better. So don't also ignore the GI symptoms. Your body is telling you something, right? Thanks for tuning in today to Accelerated Health with Sara Banta. I hope you learned something and gave you some inspiration to take the next step. Head to SaraBanta Health for health articles and join my free group coaching on Telegram, and shop the supplements we've talked about or any of the others at acceleratedhealthproducts.com. You can use coupon podcast10 on your first order, and share this podcast with your chronic cardio buddies. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review. Doing all of this will help this podcast reach more people like you. You can find it by searching Accelerated Health with Sara Banta on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, E360, iHeartRadio, over 100 different platforms. And remember, I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so join me next time for more ways to unlock your health potential.